Do you consider yourself a teacher? How much emphasis do you place on developing your teaching skills? Hi coaches. In this edition of The Breakdown, I'm going to talk about the role that teaching plays in coaching. Teaching seems to be getting a bit of a resurgence in the coaching world these days, and it seems to be a bit of a hot topic. If you look in the NBA, for example, one of the big talking points around a lot of the recent coaching hires was their ability to teach. Mark Daigneault and Stan Van Gundy, for example, were noted for their ability to teach the game. And if you look at some of the big coaching success stories out of Australia recently, people like Eddie Jones and Lisa Alexander, before they actually had success as coaches, they actually started off as teachers. Players, I think, really appreciate coaches who are good teachers as well. One of the basketball coaches that I work with, he sent me a great clip of Cam Newton explaining one of the reasons why he joined the Patriots was because he noted that Josh McDaniels' ability was not just to be a great coach, but a great teacher as well. So what's the difference between a coach and a teacher? That's a great question. In my mind, a coach who's a great teacher has a learning mindset and is able to understand how to leverage learning to find new ways to engage with players and help them reach their potential. They understand that learning needs to be individualized and players don't respond to coaching in the same way. They also recognize that it's their job not to impart knowledge on players, but to help players find that information out for themselves. So do you need to be a great teacher to be a great coach? Not necessarily, but it helps. I think all coaching requires some level of teaching capability. A coach I work with and I were discussing this topic recently, and he put it quite beautifully. He said, a coach who can't teach is just a manager. So you need to have some baseline level of teaching skill in order to coach, but it's not the only skill that's important. Things like leadership and management, amongst others, are also really important. But I will contend that if you want to be great at developing people and their skills, then you need to have a level of teaching capability that goes well beyond the baseline. You also need to actively seek out opportunities to improve your teaching capability. And how do you do that? Well, that's a tricky question because there's not many opportunities out there that focus on the teaching side of coaching. If you want to learn about the X's and O's or the leadership and management side of things, there's opportunities out there. What I would suggest is reading up on or reaching out to experts in the area of skill acquisition or teaching and try and understand what the landscape currently looks like. I would also strongly suggest taking a moment to think about what assumptions you have about learning. Ask yourself, how do players learn skills, and see where you're currently at. Uncovering your assumptions and understanding what capabilities great teachers have is a great starting point to figuring out what you need to start your journey as well. I work directly with coaches to help them uncover their assumptions and learn to be better teachers. If you want to learn more, go to www.derekpanchuk.com and subscribe, or email me directly at derek@learntowin.com.au. Thanks, coaches, and keep growing.